for Jo Cobb. You know, I was thinking about this earlier, walking over to your holler. You're in a world where, for a guy, it's the biggest adrenaline rush to get in a car, the sound. I know with my Harley, if it's not loud, you just don't get that rush. But for you, you really are in a man's world, an absolute beautiful individual. How do you do it?
You know, it's so natural for me. I grew up in racing, and so the smells, you know, my dad runs a dirt modified, and they run on pure alcohol, and it just literally sting your eyes, and you learn where to stand, where not to stand. But, you know, every February when we get to Daytona and the engines fire for the first time, and it's so hard to explain. I once heard my dad, somebody said, "What's it like being behind the wheel of one of those race cars?" And he sat there for a minute and said, "You can't describe it. It's like nothing in the world. You can't talk about how loud it is or the feel of it, the rumble, the speed, the adrenaline. It's really pretty awesome. And you've got your hands full. I'll tell you that. You got your hands full, both in and out of the race car."
You really have what Guy calls the ultimate job. But at the same time, we are seeing more and more women in IRL now, of course, coming into NASCAR. You really have opened the doors for a lot of women and a lot of young girls to be able to go, you know what, there are other options in life. I can really do what I want to do, not just because I'm a girl I can't do it.
Absolutely, and it's not just behind the wheel driving. There are so many girls that you're seeing as mechanics, even over the wall crew, and so I think that's very exciting. And I think that really you see so many female race car drivers that are still girly girls. So we still want to get out of the race car and touch up our makeup. And I just said that over at the Ford display. You know, my Carport Empire Ford Mustang is, you know, it gets shined on, and they get to, you know, make it shiny and look good afterwards. So why can't I come and, you know, just touch up a little bit? So I get a hard time for that, but at the same time, it's all part of being yourself. And I think for women, you know, we want to kick butt and we want to look good doing it.
One of the things that a lot of people really don't realize in the outside world is you're not just a race car driver. You are someone that has to go out, promote yourself with the sponsors, because it's not so much just what you do on a track, it's what you're doing off the track.
People think you just put your butt in the seat and mash the gas and turn left, and there's so much more to it, you know, from facilitating finding sponsors to, you know, I owned my own truck team last year in the Camping World Truck Series, and so, you know, carrying around, you know, payroll and just, you know, facilitating so many different things. But one thing about it that I really love is when the dream is done and I've raced as much as I'm going to race, which my dad is 64 years old and still racing, so that's going to be a long time, I have a feeling. But I'll have so many great life skills and business skills, and so I'm really, you know, excited about the different hats that I wear in the racing community and what that's going to teach me for the rest of my life.
What kind of relationship do you have with the other drivers?
You know, I think like from a distance and a mutual respect. So some of the drivers...
So you're not chummy with any of them, they're not chummy with you, it's kind of like going to any other job.
Yeah.
You have your job to do, I have mine.
Yeah, and you know, on the Camping World Truck Series, of course you travel with those guys week in and week out, and there's doors that are open that you know you can walk in anytime. But we're all busy, we're all juggling our families, we're all juggling our sponsors and our appearances, and so there's a really high level of respect. For the most part, the drivers really respect and understand where you're coming from, that you're a rookie, that you're under budget, and you're just trying to learn.
All right, Jen, walk us through race day. Kind of walk us through that in kind of the adrenaline rush building up to that green flag.
You know, it's actually quite the opposite. It's like the calm before the storm. And you'll always see me with earphones in.
Really?
One of the few drivers, I listen to music before. Then I like to listen to Rihanna, her song called Hard, because there's a part in it where she says, no fear, got the baddest bee in heels right here, you know, so it's just kind of fun to just to build that edge about you and to build that calmness. And when you have the earphones in, people understand that you're in your zone, and so they're less prone to make, you know, everybody's got some sort of comment that you got to go, you know, kind of laugh at, you know. So yeah, that's really how I handle pre-race. And you know, what
about the introduction when they introduce your name and, you know, you obviously have a large crowd reaction? Guys love women that will speak.
It's flattering. I will say it's very flattering. I mean, last year there a couple times. They were like, "Wow, you were the highest or the second highest, round of applause." And I was like, I can't wait for the day I get booed, because that means I'm winning a lot. Because
That's true. That's true.
everybody boos the obvious winner. But yeah, it's really I feel like I have a good rapport with fans. We're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, a lot of direct contact, and I feel like my fans are really on this journey with me. Just a redheaded, freckly girl from Kansas with no money, no famous father, trying to make it in this big bad sport. And I'm very open about my struggles and my triumphs, and so we kind of air it out there, and it's really been a lot of fun.